What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this one, we have How the Dutch Are Changing My Mindset. Diary of an American Living in the Netherlands. Before we jump into this video, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and let's get right to it.
So, as an American living here in the Netherlands, over the years, I found myself doing some of the strangest things. And what's crazy is you don't even see it until someone points it out to you, and then that's when you realize that America kind of messed me up.
Uh-oh. I'm nervous to jump into this. I'm nervous to jump because I reacted to like those TikTok compilations of something about after they moved abroad and realized just how much America messed me up. And it'd be bad. It'd be bad.
All right, now I do have to say that this is not a diss track towards Americans or America or the Netherlands. And I love America just like I love the Netherlands. So if you are trying to pull up because you have a problem with anything I'm about to say, do it in the comments right after you subscribe because we're trying to hit that 100,000 subscriber mark.
Y'all help him get to that 100K. Where he at right now? 25.9. Help him get I'm subscribed because he's fire. I should have been subscribed. Y'all go subscribe, help him get to that 100K mark, bro. If there's any creator that deserves it, like he's definitely one of them because he is pure entertainment. I love his videos, love his content.
So now back when I was a kid living in Chicago, there was something that happened to me that I never told anybody about, but I've never forgotten it. I was with a friend when the police stopped us to frisk us. Now when they frisked us, they pushed us up against the wall, and they pushed me so hard up against the wall that I started bleeding from my head, like right around here.
That's
and that
crazy.
is how I got that scar.
That's ridiculous.
And I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I did not know what happened. I don't know why these policemen stopped us. We didn't look a certain type of way. We were just, I don't even remember where we were going, but I just know we got stopped, frisked, and then they just let us go. But my head was bleeding and I never told anybody what happened. So when I got home, I just told my grandmother that I fell. And now I don't know why I didn't tell anybody about this. I don't know why, but fast forward a little bit and something similar happens again, but this time I'm with my uncle and I'm with my sister. And we were outside playing basketball, literally across the street from the apartment that we were living in. And we were allowed to stay out and hoop until the street lights came on. That was the rule. So we're hooping, minding our own business. It was just us three, my sister, my uncle, and myself. And a cop pulled up to the basketball court and was asking us all kinds of questions, then arrested us and drove us home across the street. And now fast forward a few years, and I keep running into incidents like this. I'm hanging out, all my friends were Asian because my whole neighborhood was just full of Asians. So I'm hanging out with all my friends who were Asian, and I was always the one singled out. Every time. Me, and then there was an African guy too who would eventually be in the group too, and we would always get singled out. Always. And it was just getting so bad that I would go from Fresh Prince to Carlton in a heartbeat. And it would get even worse when I would be out driving and I would get pulled over. I would always get asked to get out of the car. I would get searched. They would put me in handcuffs. They would ask if any drugs or guns, anything was in the car. Like, it was just a whole thing. Which brings me to my first way that America kind of screwed me up.
That's just, it's extremely infuriating and frustrating because I always say, like, in the U.S., like, I personally have never faced this type of racism, like, but I know there's so many other people that have, and that's infuriating to know that because of the color of his skin, like, this stuff is having cops treated him this way. Like, that's just absolute BS, and it's frustrating. It's like, these people need to lose their job. Like, this is ridiculous. You can't just single him out like that, bro. You can't, and I'm not like all against cops because I think cops, they do a job that is very difficult. You don't know if you're going to make it home at the end of the day. This is a job where, yeah, you're putting your life on the line at the end of the day. And in America, where there's more guns than people, that can be scary. So don't get it twisted. I'm not dissing or against cops, but I do think, like in any profession, there's some bad apples, and these bad apples need to be rooted out because that's infuriating to hear he had to grow up and cops doing this to him.
Longest time, I actually thought that this was a normal thing. Like, I thought that This was just how life was. Until I went to Germany in 2009, I want to say 2009, 2010. But yeah, I went to Germany and realized that when I act a certain way there towards people, like when I went and I was applying these rules, like the black rules, holding on to your receipt, not touching things that you're not gonna buy, things like that. Just all these like weird like black rules that we use to not get shot or not be accused of stealing because you're already being harassed. I would go and use all these rules in Germany the first time I went to Germany, and that's when I realized that the world is not like that. Matter of fact, people thought it was weird. Even when I act like that here, people find it so weird. I'm not even joking. Like, the Dutch are just kind of like, what? Like, why are you saying sorry? Like, why are you trying to do this? Why? You know, they look at it as strange. And I'm not trying to come off the wrong way. I'm not saying that America's racist. I'm not saying that, because I know for a fact not everybody there is racist. Yeah. But I am saying that it is not the land of the free. I mean, I still get treated certain ways when I go to certain areas, and I still have to go by these black rules that I mentioned before. It's just the way it is. So basically, your freedoms are limited depending on the color of your skin, the time of day. I have never, honestly, anywhere, I can say anywhere, in Asia where I've gone, all parts of Europe I've been to, I have never experienced any of that. Ooh, man, I'm nothing to everybody out there. Dang. I mean, but it is nice. It's like super nice today, too. Jeez. Ooh, that sun is hot, man.
Nah, that's like I said, it's just frustrating, and ridiculous. And I will say, like, while I said I've never like experienced that personally, like by police officers, growing up, or to this day, I will say, and by people really, I will say I do act a certain way around people. Like, I feel like a chameleon where I change up really quickly. And that's just what you feel like you have to do. I will say there are, when driving long distances and driving to long distance destination that's a long ways away from, it is a little bit nerve wracking driving in certain states. Driving, like, one time I needed gas, but it was a certain area in the state. I was like, this area, it just made me feel like uncomfortable. Like, I was like, you get that gut feeling like, don't stop here. Driven through those areas where I'm like, I'll just have to push it and then go to the next spot.
Okay, so now a while back, something happened to me here in the Netherlands where I was sitting down, I was having a coffee, and I saw someone take a really hard fall on their bike. It was a much older person too as well, and it just boom. Extra, like, it looked bad. But yeah, I saw this person take this really hard fall. I go over, a bunch of other people go over too as well. I pull out my phone to actually call an Uber, while meanwhile other people are saying, like, we should call an ambulance. Now, when I heard this, like, I knew, I don't speak Dutch, right? But when I heard it, my first instinct was to do not call the ambulance, because look, I'm telling you, look, in the States, you call the ambulance, like, you could go poor, like, you can be homeless after you get out of the hospital. And now, this was when I realized that to call an ambulance or something like that, it's free. Like, it's not, you don't have to worry about going homeless, or, you know, your next paycheck to pay for this stuff, or your next 5 paychecks to pay for these things. This stuff is actually free. And to make matters worse, they were looking at me like I'm the weird one. And you know what? I was. This is actually a story that I've told in a past vlog before about how I was traumatized by the States or something like that. And it's true, man. I think I'm just so, like, again, just that mindset of like it could cost you your home or cost you your way of life if you get hurt and take an ambulance, because it's happened to people. Like, I've seen it. I've done it myself. I've literally turned down ambulance rides after getting in motorcycle accidents because it was so expensive.
It's crazy.
But it's just not, it's not like that everywhere. Think of how crazy I must have sounded not trying to get this woman the proper help that she needed because I'm thinking it's gonna cost so much. In reality, is like, it's free. Like, it's free 99. And now this kind of messed me up in the sense of, like, I am scared and super skeptical about going to the doctor a lot of the times, even when I need to go. And the only reason is the cost and like hidden fees and bills that come later.
Yeah.
And there are just so many more people like me that
Yeah.
we don't call 911. We don't go for an ambulance. We don't get in ambulances. We don't go to the doctor because it's so expensive. But yeah, I have recognized that is a problem, and I definitely need to be better about just my health.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm telling y'all, man, I need to get a boat, man. Look at that guy, man. Whew. I also low-key almost got hit by a bike, and that would have been my fault. I was not paying attention. Okay, so now this
I
might
feel like it is difficult to adjust your mind. Yeah, I do feel like it is difficult to kind of adjust your mindset that you're not in America anymore when it comes to that. Because it's like, yeah, here, bro, you avoid the hospital at all costs. You, when injured, you do not. I repeat, you do not call the ambulance. You can't afford it. There's just so many things. It's just so expensive here, and that's so crazy to think about, right? And what supposedly a lot of Americans say the best country in the world, that healthcare is like that. That's mind blowing. Here, healthcare is. It feels like it's looked at as a privilege and not a right. So yeah. If that was in America, you probably wouldn't call the ambulance for somebody that falling hard, like having an accident, because you don't know what they're financially capable of. Yeah, it's cool, doctor saved my life, but now I'm financially bankrupt. It's baffling. It's honestly baffling. Yeah, I couldn't tell you honestly for myself. I couldn't tell you the last time like I went to the doctor, whether that be for a checkup, for a sickness, for anything. I couldn't tell you the last time that I went into the doctor for me. It's been a long time, which is not me bragging. That's me like saying I don't have the finances. Like when I get sick, I'm gonna try every single over the counter medication I can find before I go to the doctor. I'm literally going to try everything. Doctor is the absolute last resort. I'm on my if I'm calling a doctor, I'm feeling like I'm near my deathbed. It's to that extent, which is absolutely ridiculous. That's craziness.
it sound a bit strange, but I'm gonna do my best to explain this. But I've been in the States my entire life. I'm not super into politics, but I have followed politics like pretty much my entire life.
I
But
feel you.
the thing I've noticed is nothing really changes. No matter what side is in
Oh my
office, no matter who has the power,
yes.
nothing
Yes.
really changes. As a matter of fact, something else I noticed is if
Facts.
one party's for something, the other party's against it. It doesn't even
Automatically.
matter what it is. So
Mm-hmm.
if one party says they like this, the other
Mm-hmm.
party automatically is
Yep.
against it. And now don't get me wrong,
Yep.
this is not the case for everything, but for the most part. Then it gets spread through the news like wildfire, and then it splits the people, the citizens,
Yep.
basically. And also, I hope this doesn't sound like conspiracy theory or nothing like that. I'm not saying nothing like that. But over the years, I have noticed nothing changes because these people are not really in charge. It's all a look, it all goes back to money. I mean, just for example, take the news, for example, right? And how the news is basically
Yes.
dividing the people. Like they're
Yep.
dividing the people. When you look at
Mm-hmm.
who owns these news companies and these news
Mm-hmm.
channels, it's like one company. With all the money we have, all the money,
Mm-hmm.
all the resources that we have, we could solve most problems in like 1 year.
Yeah.
But nothing gets
Yep.
solved. Homelessness is outrageous. Prices are
Ridiculous.
through the roof. We could solve this stuff, but there's a reason why we ain't. That's why you have certain things in food that shouldn't be in food. That's also why you
Mm-hmm.
have these pharmaceutical ads that run like crazy on American TV. I mean, honestly, if you just be real with yourself, they're not even trying to hide it. They know, like
Yeah.
basically at the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
about that bottom line,
For sure.
that money. Oh, can y'all hear that? The bell is saying, "Take me out to the ball game."
It's like the U.S. is just foundation. The foundation of the U.S. is money, bro. Like money. It's in the foundation of the United States. This is what the United States is all about: profit over everything, over everything. And it's crazy, bro, because I be saying this stuff like he said all the time, and I know there's like a good amount of people that not like he said, not on no conspiracy theory type stuff, but I know there's a good amount of people that say the same stuff. It's like when you really look at it, like in my lifetime, I'm like, yeah, it does nothing does change. And I look at like I can look at these news reports and be like, 85% of Americans say they want this, and you know why it doesn't happen? Because those 15% of Americans are the ones with the money, are the elite, the ones that really run things. That's why the 85% will not get their way. And it's so crazy. I've always said I just when it comes to these elections and everybody's up in arms and everybody's getting all upset, and I'm like, in my head, like honestly, I just don't believe the president is the most powerful person in the United States. I don't. I believe they're the face. Believe they're the face, but I 100% believe there are people behind the strings calling the shots. 100% these companies, these corporations, these elite of the elite got more money than God, bro. They are back there calling all the shots. It's an insane thing to like, for example, it's insane to think the US has so many mass shootings, we have so many school shootings, we have so many suicide deaths by gun, we have so many gun deaths, we have, but literally it feels like the laws don't change. It feels like nothing ever happens, and that's because the NRA is just funneling money into the pockets of those in power. Funny, so it's really the NRA calling the shots. They're just giving the money to the people who got to sign whatever. So really, when these people, these presidents, these politicians, they get into power, yes, they're in the chair, but they're not the ones that hold the real power. But that's just my rant of the day. Let's continue.
Oh, you know what? They are actually setting up. I completely forgot about this, but they're setting up for the jazz festival or jazz night, something. It's a whole like Thursday through I think it's like Sunday, but yeah, should be fun because I do like jazz. And now another way that the U.S. kind of messed me up is that I used to think that the world kind of revolved around the U.S. And it's almost like we are just in this bubble of
Yeah.
just America. And as
Mm-hmm.
an American, this actually makes sense, especially when I remember the first time I've traveled. I didn't realize a lot. Like, I'm just being dead serious. I didn't know nothing. But for real, the moment I traveled, that changed everything. That's how I know now that, first of all, healthcare is different wherever you go. Like, it's just completely different.
Yeah.
Also, the way that you're treated, completely different. Now, I want to be clear on this because I'm not saying that what happens in America doesn't affect other places. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that everybody ain't American. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody don't want to be in America. Everybody's
Agreed.
values and entitlement, it's not the same. Like, it is,
Yeah.
no, you don't see that same kind of entitlement everywhere you go. It's just, it ain't there. Before I started traveling, I used to think that, like, America was this, America was that, America was the best at this, the best at that. And then you go somewhere else and you're like, huh. Like, I even remember thinking about other countries as like, huh, these countries must be third world countries. I used to think that. I'm not even joking until I traveled. But it makes sense because I heard this quote, and this makes total sense based off of what we consume, especially in the States. But the quote is, whatever entertains you, trains you. And that's pretty much the media summed up in the States. They are training everybody to think that this is the best place to be, you should stay where you at, or it's not safe in other places, when in the reality is, it's not just like, I mean, our rankings on almost every level, safety, education, food, health, everything's kind of behind. Like, I hate to say, like, we've kind of fallen off. Oh man, that's super nice. It's always nice to see like people on boats and stuff. Man, I gotta get back to work, but I don't want to. And plus, I got one more thing that I want to say, and that is,
No, he's just hitting these nail on the head, bro. Nail on the head. I think in the US we grow up in this bubble, and it's where y'all trained. We are trained not only in the media but in schools and everything. It's like you grow up. Of course, you're saying the Pledge of Allegiance. You're pledging your allegiance to the United States every single day. History. You're not learning about the history of the rest of the world. You're not learning about current events in the rest of the world. They're not teaching you these things. No, you're learning about U.S. history. You're learning about state history. You're learning about current events in the United States. You're you're in this bubble. You're in this bubble, so you grow up believing that like everywhere is like the U.S. Like everybody does things like the U.S. The U.S. is does things the best way. The U.S. is the greatest, and then you, like he said, you travel and it opens your eyes. And for me, it was like I started reacting to these videos, and I was like, hold up, like, bro, we are not the greatest at most things. The two things that we have is we have the strongest military because we spend a crap ton on it, and I think we're financially like we have the richest economy in the world. That's it. Um, when it comes to everything else, when it comes to education, when it comes to food quality, when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to safety, when it comes to all, we're not even in the top 10 in a lot of these things, and that's what's scary, bro. Like, and then yeah, when you grow up in the media showing you, when the media shows other countries where and they're talking about the bad things happening. Oh, they're trafficking people here, they're getting kidnapped here, the animals are insane here, this place is full of diseases, and you actually go to those places and you learn how amazing those countries are, and it's like you're just lied to, bro. You're just lied to.
That is about consumerism. Like, this, man, I used to think that this was the way that you should be, because that's what I seen around me, that's what I seen with my friends. Everyone's just buying up stuff like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you gotta have this, you gotta
Mm-hmm.
have this, oh, this is new, you gotta
Yeah.
have this. And this is something I've touched on in so many videos, but it is like, every time I see it, I'm just like blown away at how crazy people get in the States over just stuff and having stuff. Gotta have the
Mm-hmm.
latest shoes, gotta have the latest purse, gotta have the latest drip, the newer car. In people's minds, like, it's just, all they're doing is just buying because they're only being sold to. And
Mm-hmm.
they don't even know that they're being sold to. And at the end of it all, they're just left with like a bunch of stuff. Not even, nothing meaningful, just stuff. Oh man, low-key, this is like one of my favorite spots and my favorite shot. Look at that shot, man. Come on. Come on, pimp. Let me see if I can turn it up a bit. Let me turn y'all up. And I will say, I used to be the same way. I'm like, I can't even lie about it. I really did. I mean, luckily, I saw this while I was in the States, and it just saved me so
Yeah.
much trouble, so much time, so much money, so much space. I mean, don't get me wrong, it still creeps up every now and then, but man, I cannot tell you how good it feels. Like, I'm still getting rid of stuff today. Like, I'm just, I cannot do that consumerism anymore. I mean, I
I
just
feel
don't
that.
have the energy and time for it, man. But I think what's even crazy is that how can people afford all this stuff when they
Mm-hmm.
broke? But yeah, those are the
Mm-hmm.
things that America kind of messed me up with
Credit
and made
card
me realize that I'm
loans.
actually messed up from spending so much time in America and picking up on these habits. A lot of it I'm over and I've been a lot better with, but a lot of them I'm not. Like, I'll be real, some of this stuff is really hard to kick,
Yeah.
but I am over like consuming stuff. Like, I'm telling you, I ain't never going broke. I did my nickel. I ain't going back. But now I gotta get
Yeah.
back to work. I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I enjoyed making it. And let me know in the comments if there's something that you're struggling with, or something that you got from like American habits. I would love to know, because not for nothing, man, I have gone to a lot of countries, and you do see like the younger crowd, they are kind of creeping up, just like someone has
Mm.
mentioned before. I have seen it in different countries too as well, like people wearing all these bags
Yeah.
and buying all these shoes. Like, it don't get me started. But anyway,
Yeah.
let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it, because I enjoyed making it. I will see you in the next one.
Yeah, absolutely awesome video. Completely agree. And the consumerism is, yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's to the point where like you have to. It's like I feel like if you have kids, you have to get the best of the best. Hand me downs are frowned upon. Walmart clothes, how dare you? Like, it's crazy. They have to be in the top. They got to be in the Nikes. They got to be in the Jordan. They got to be in the Gucci. They got to, and it's like, bro, like they're 5 months old. You think they know the difference between Walmart and Gucci? No, that's just to make yourself feel better. But that's just kind of the way the U.S. is it's built on consumerism mentality. Um, I feel like he got the U.S. 100% correct, bro. Like, the job that they've done in training the citizens here is, and I fall into the trap a lot of times as well. So I won't act like I'm above it. But yeah, they've done an incredible job, and it almost feels like brainwashing or training or however you want to call it. That's all we have. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, check out the next